You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Live here from Virginia, here at Richmond Raceway, here for round number 6 in the Winston Cup Series. Alongside me in the broadcast booth is Angel Santiago. I'm Daniel Polish Jr. And Angel, we're here for some short track action here tonight from Richmond Raceway here in Virginia. Angel, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing good, Daniel. It is nice to be back. It's been a little while since we've called a Sunday Cup League race here on a Monday night. Round 6, as you mentioned, at Richmond Raceway. One of my favorite tracks. It's one of those rhythm tracks, Daniel. And as you know me, I love myself a good rhythm track where you play into the driver's hands of just, getting on these nice long green flag runs. But the drivers said this track is a little slick today, so we'll see if we can get any of those.
Well, Richmond, it's a 3/4 mile track. It's a little bit bigger than Bristol. And let me tell you, even though it's not as short as Bristol, we're going to see a lot of bumping and banging going on because you could be coming to that white flag. A driver in second bumps in you in turn 1. You're going up that track. And you're going to be side by side racing for that win later on tonight. And Angel, this track does provide good racing. And we're going to see these drivers early on in this race literally on the inside line, but as this race progresses on later tonight, we're going to see that line, that higher groove come into play.
Yeah, this high line's going to come into play, and we're going to have some great action when we see it come into fruition. But you mentioned where one guy slips up and can really mess up your day. You're trying to you have to make it to the end, as you said. You have to be able to make it to the end of the race. And the only way of doing that is taking care of your equipment. And the question is, can these drivers do that tonight?
Well, we're going to have to just see who gets it done here tonight, who's going to come out on top and win here in Virginia from the Richmond Raceway. And there's a few drivers I want to talk about, Angel, that are going to be in this field here tonight, because the last time when we were here broadcasting the SCL Winston Cup Series season, we had drivers like Johnny Wood Jr., we had Adam Lowe, Steven Johnson. I'm going to even throw in there Maxwell Caldwell. Remember, he won 3 championships in this series, and those are the drivers that you're going to probably see up towards the front in this race. But there's another driver we'll mention as well, is the 7 of Justin Lewis. Remember Justin Lewis? He was so close a season ago where he literally almost won that title at Atlanta. Unfortunately, didn't execute it well enough to claim that title, but there could be a surprise winner here as well.
I think a surprise winner is going to come from figuring out what their car is going to react and how it reacts to the track itself. We have up here the race, race info for tonight, 65 degrees the ambient temp, but the actual track temp is going to be about 77 degrees. So it's actually going to be a little bit warmer, and I think that's going to be good, especially for these next gens. You want to build some heat in these tires to have some good action and where these, they have a little bit of grip around them. But 150 laps around this track tonight, Daniel, and the drivers are only going to get 4 total tire sets. And unlike yesterday's race at Bristol, Goodyear's not here to roll out an extra set if they really need it.
You're right on that. And with 4 tire sets, that's not a lot, Angel. And we're going to see drivers who are going to be very aggressive, pushing it on early. But if I was a driver, Angel, I wouldn't want to be doing that. I would probably want to save those tires, maybe save a sticker set for maybe later on if a caution were to come out. Then you're going to have those fresher tires than everybody else that maybe didn't save a set of tires later on. So it's all going to come down to strategy once again. Who's going to save tire wear? Who's not going to save tire wear? Does this race run green all the way through, or do we get cautions here and there? Those are questions yet to be answered. And right off the bat, you're seeing right there in the first row, Johnny Wood Jr. leading this pack to green.
Yeah, on row 1, as mentioned, Johnny Wood Jr. with Michael Matta there on the outside, Joshua Yarborough and Dalton Randolph in row number 2, Isaac Love, Nathan Harper, row 3, row 4 belongs to, as you mentioned, Maxwell Caldwell, that fast driver there, that number 94, and Zach Archer on his outside. Row 5 belongs to Justin Lewis and Peter Shepard. And then row number 6 belongs to Chad Jones and Tyler Rudge.
Row 7, we're going to have Adam Brady. And right next to him, we're going to have John. Right behind them, starting 15th, we're going to have Adam Lowe, another driver that's very good here in the Winston Cup Series. And Steven Johnson in the 44, starting off 16th. Starting 17th, we're going to have Chris Myers. And starting 18th, Johnny Lefevers Jr., and right before 20th place, starting 19th, we have Michael Accord. And starting 20th is the 6 car. And that is, oh my goodness, where is he? That is Jonathan Casebeer. And starting 21st and 22nd, we have Ronnie Hurst starting 21st. Starting 22nd, Austin Call. Starting 23rd and 24th, we have Andrew Mitz-Kinsey and Brendan Cournoyer, another strong driver here, Angel. And you want to wrap up the rest of the field?
Absolutely. Thank you for getting Brendan's last name, because I definitely would not have been able to get that myself. We have Todd Merkel and Josh Terrett Hill in the row 13, Lilith Peters and Ryan Farrell in row 14, and then Trevor Dalton and Tyler Hewer going to round out the field in row number 15. Actually, I'm sorry, we still got one more driver there in row 16, and that is Jason Higginbottom. So 31 drivers here for tonight's race. Is going to be an exciting one. As I mentioned, I love this track, and I love the opportunity that these drivers get to showcase their skills in short track racing.
And you see the pace car making its way into turns 3 and 4. You're going to see that pace car move left here pretty soon here, folks. And that's going to be within the next lap. But you see right there, Barney the flagman's all ready to go, Angel.
I was ready to go myself. I saw them getting side by side. Maybe these drivers were ready quicker than we were. So we still have one more lap. The lights are off on the pace car. We'll go ahead and double check before I go back to the other view. Let's jump on board with your pole sitter here, Johnny Wood Jr. And I'll say just like that.
Not a lot to see out of that front window there.
Yeah, I haven't brought back a significant amount only because my usual field of view is on top of the dashboard. So I kind of exaggerated a little bit, but we'll be all right, everybody. Getting ready to go green now anyways.
Well, there it is. The pace car in turns 3 and 4 is going to make that left turn. Maybe not. We're not going green yet. We're staying out again, Angel.
We're missing something. I do apologize. Of course, we're not your usual pair here for your SCL Monday nights. Just having to fill in. So we'll give just a moment, everybody, to figure out when we're going to go green flag racing.
Yeah, so the last time that I was here in SCL, they ran 2 pace laps before the green flag here. And if I'm not mistaken here, I do believe we're going to start racing here pretty soon. I think the pace car is going to make its way on the pit road this time. You know, 3rd time's the charm, Angel. So let's see if he gets into that pit road entrance there. As they're entering. There he is. Turn number 4. Here comes the field. Johnny Wood Jr. leading them to the green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go short track racing here in Virginia.
Barney the flagman waves them down. They go flying into turn 1, and here they are through turn 2.
Heading down the back straightaway with Johnny Wood Jr. leading the pack here. Everybody filing through very clean here, going into turn number 3.
Turn 3, Johnny Wood Jr. is going to have the lead as they come off of 4. He will lead lap number 1 as they come across the line with Michael Matta and Dalton Randolph being 1, 2, 3. The battle next is for 4th between the 4 car of Nathan Harper and Joshua Yarbrough. Nathan's going to have the nice run off the turn, but he's not going to force it down. Looks like he may be comfortable on that outside, and I think we have our first caution of the evening.
First caution out here tonight from Richmond Raceway. We're going to have to take a look back at a replay and see what brought out our first caution of the night here. And it looks like the 11 car there. Oh. Definitely got hit from the back, but I think he did bounce off the wall if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he got loose. Yeah, I got some significant rear damage to that next gen car there. See him there on that outside line. Yeah, it just comes right underneath him.
Oh, the 21 was sideways.
Another wreck
already before that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to find, is where this one happened for the this number 21 car. That was Adam Brady. So we had a couple incidents there that would, of course, simultaneously bring out the caution. And let's go ahead and see if we can find our pole sitter and bring him on in here. Gotta get used to having all. Okay, I don't see Johnny Wood in voice chat, so we won't have our pole sitter in for tonight's race. But anyway, so we mentioned with the only 4 additional sets of tires here for tonight. How Daniel, could you possibly manage? I mean, that is a lot of laps on each set of tires. I mean, we were at 150, so I mean, you're thinking what, 35 to 40 laps instead of tires, if not more?
I would say around, you know, the tire wear, it depends really on how hard you're racing. If you're racing really hard, you know your tires are going to be used up very, very quickly. Now, if you just lay back, stay conservative, you know, your tires aren't going to wear down as much as it would if you were being aggressive. Now, I do expect, you know, lap 30, 35, I would say. That's how many laps we can run here on tires, 35. But I expect those drivers to come down pit road around lap 35 to lap 40. That's my expectation here tonight from these drivers. Again, if we do have a long green flag run, we might see some green flag pit stops. So it's really up in the air right now, depending on what these drivers do.
And I like that you mentioned green flag pit stops, because green flag pit stops that is not an easy thing to do, especially when you're here on a track like this. Richmond is an older track. I mean, you see that tire abrasion, where it can be hard to get stopped in time, and as small of a track as it is, especially with these next gen cars. So getting to pit lane is going to be interesting, especially with how flat it is down there compared to turns 3 and 4 banking. You really do have to try to be making your pit stop there going into turn 3. And I think the lights are going to be off on the pace cars. They come across the line. Yes, it is. And we're going to be side by side, ready to go green flag racing again after completing lap 7 as they come back across the line.
Yeah, these drivers, I mean, they're all very, very talented, Angel. And when, these drivers, they try their best week in, week out. They come out, have fun, but there's always one little thing. Getting a win, getting into the postseason, getting as many points as possible, and go for that championship. Because when you're fighting for points, nobody's your friend out there.
You're right. There's no friends out there for points. Here we are. They're going to come off of turn number 4 through the Geico restart zone. Johnny Wood with a great restart as they dive down there under Barney the Flagman into turn number 1.
Seeing these drivers going down the back straightaway.
Oh, there goes 69, I think.
Somebody's around in the middle of the pack collecting multiple drivers. There's the one involved there, missing the front bumper. Oh, some more cars hitting each other.
Yeah, that was Peter Shepard who got loose on the inside there off of turn number 2 and just nowhere to go for everybody else.
Lilith Peters and the one took a hard hit to the front there. She had no front bumper. You can see right there on the back straightaway, just nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go for her. For the 24 involved. Not as many cars got heavy damage as actually, honestly, I anticipated, but heavy damage nonetheless for these drivers. And we're going to go back in just one more time. We're going to back it up just a slight bit here for that 69. We're going to go ahead and jump on board with him this time. Look at how hard he is fighting this car just to keep it under him.
Yeah, watch the handling of these cars. I mean, look at how loose they are. And Angel, throughout the race, we're going to see drivers struggle with handling. And as that grip either goes away or gets more grip, because the more grip you have on track, the better your handling is going to be. But remember, sometimes the grip's not always there throughout a run, so it's just going to get harder and harder.
Yeah, the tires are going to wear out more. And again, mentioning where you really don't want to be, my advice is just, don't push it. And for the sole reason of you only have 4 sets of tires. You spin out once, or you have to slam on the brake once, and you've already cost yourself that entire run where you're just managing for the rest of that run just to hopefully not lose a ton of spots by the end of it.
Well, you certainly don't want to make any mistakes here. And let me tell you, viewers, why, as a driver, you don't want to make any mistakes. Angel, I'm sure you could put some input on this too. So first off, I'm going to talk about, don't make any pit road mistakes. That's my number one concern. Don't speed on pit road. Don't speed coming off pit road. Don't miss your pit box. Because let me tell you, I've seen this happen on short tracks. Yeah, you could go a lap down. Okay, no biggie. You can hopefully get your lap back by getting a free pass if a caution comes out. Okay, no problem there. If you're 2 or 3 laps down, this is a pretty big hole you got to dig yourself out of. And Angel, do you want to explain to the viewers why it's such a hard time to get your laps back once you're 2 or 3 laps down? Because I know you're not going to be winning that race if you're 2 or 3 laps down.
Well, the problem with going 2 laps down is mainly not you just trying to get it back, but the fact that if you're 2 laps down, there's going to be a lot of other people probably 2 laps down or 1 lap down. And so everybody who's 1 lap down, they get the priority, of course, for getting their lead, their lap back. And you're just basically always trapped 2 laps down. Then you have to start taking some risk, maybe take a wave around. And then, if it goes green after that, then you're really screwed, because then you have to come back down again. So there's so many different levels to where you of course want to be and you don't want to be in tire save mode. But when it comes to trying to just make it to the end, I mean, 2 laps down, forget about tires at that point. You're right. You dug yourself a hole. It's going to become very difficult to get out of. Now, granted, doesn't mean you just go out and quit, because now you have other drivers who are going to fall 2 laps down. You have a chance to pass them, the drivers who fall out of the race. So there's still so many spots to gain, even being 2 laps down.
Well, it's always great to finish, even if you are laps down, because remember, every point counts. So no matter how damaged your car is, as long as you can still drive, go and stay out. Pace vehicle now makes its way down pit road. Second caution is out of the way. We're going to go back. Green flag racing. Johnny Wood Jr. leading them across the start finish line. And so far, Angel, it looks like that inside line, like I mentioned, is the preferred line right now, because you don't want to be stuck on that outside for long, because you're going to be going to the back, because once those holes close on the inside, you're just not going to get in any hole and file in line. It's just really, really hard to do. So if you see a hole in the inside line, go take it.
Well, and I think that could possibly change as this run goes on. I think that, as the tires wear, look at the 4 right there. He gets such a good run. 1 and 2, as the tires wear out, in my opinion, is the place to be, is a little bit around that outside. And maybe it's just my preference of the way I drive Richmond. And like I mentioned earlier, I love it because it's a rhythm where you can get in, kind of just float to the high side and let your car get up there and come back down and race it off the turn, where you carry that good momentum and you can make it really difficult for someone to pass you. And so that's where I love the outside for 1 and 2 as the tires wear out. But you're right, through 3 and 4, I mean, you're going to want to have that grip still all the way around the bottom. And, some drivers are going to figure it out around that high side a little bit and make it work. But it's generally going to want to be there on the bottom where you're making the shortest amount of time. And you can get that left front right onto that, right to that yellow line, but you can't get any much lower than the apron, because you do that, then you're going to be going sideways.
Oh, yeah. Looking at this right now, look at this intense battle. You saw the 4 of Nathan Harper all over the place there, now filing into that inside line. But you're seeing a lot of these drivers, like you mentioned, Angel, they're getting that run off of turn number 2. And we mentioned it, and we're going to probably mention it a bunch of times. Throughout this run, you're going to see drivers move up to that top groove. That is where that line's going to be. And you've seen right there, the 7 of Justin Lewis, very loose there, sliding up the track. And he's still going straight as of right now, fighting besides the 77 of Joshua Yarborough.
Yeah, they're going to keep fighting hard right there. The 62 of Isaac Love, you saw him. He backed off, good respectable driving for him. And you see the 17 already sliding up a little bit here as they arc. And you're going to see that a lot here. You're going to see these drivers arcing the turns as this run goes on. And we do have our 3rd caution of the evening here. Let's see who will be the culprit.
Right here on this replay. Watch this 69 here.
Oh, Peter Shepard's going to get loose.
Same spot, too.
Yeah,
it looks like it's turn 2 where these drivers are getting very, very loose.
Oh.
And there must not be a lot of grip down there.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you have to remember, these cars, they still do have a good amount of power for, the track that they are on. So when they're going through that, coming off the turn, again, such little grip at a track like this, where this is where you're honestly not full throttle until you're maybe halfway through the turn. And as the run goes on, sometimes you really don't want to get full throttle. You just kind of run 75% throttle, help save yourself some fuel, save yourself some tires, and also just makes it running a lot easier, because full throttle, especially down the front stretch where, you lose that grip and you're just still trying to turn, it can get kind of dicey still.
Well, so far, nobody has been passing this 750 of Johnny Wood Jr. 3rd caution of the night. I mean, if you're gonna want to pass somebody, like win here at Richmond Raceway, what is the strategy here to do that? Do you want to be very aggressive? Do you want to not over throttle the corner where you're literally wall riding? I mean, Angel, what is the plan here of winning? Like, what's the goal strategy wise to win?
You definitely want to be out front. You want to have fresh air. You want to have, you know, as clean a track in front of you as possible, because it allows you to run your line. And again, as I mentioned, where you get into that rhythm. Getting into a rhythm really helps you save your tires, because you're just doing the same thing consistently. So you're not overworking the tires. You know, you're just continually doing the same motions over and over again. And, you know, it allows you to be consistent lap time wise as well. And, you know, can help you just, you know, focusing on the race and just kind of clicking off laps. And when you do that, you can make it difficult for other drivers to make those passes. So you want to get to that clean air like Johnny Wood Jr. has at the moment. It's just going to be, can he hang on to that clean air? And somebody else, you know, like Michael Matto, where, you know, the inside lane hasn't been, you know, or sorry, you know, restarting, you know, second hasn't been a great way to have a good restart. So maybe you got to try to figure out as well, you know, hey, this is early in the race, but we know that the time is set for the race itself, so you're gonna have the same conditions more or less, except just a little bit more grip in the track as the tire rubber gets laid down later in the race, where, you know, you want to be able to practice and say, hey, you know what, I gotta know how my car is gonna react on, you know, a restart, especially as the tires get older, where, you know, that could be a race winning move at the end.
Well, we're working our laps around here under caution for the third night in a row here in the Winston Cup Series.
Yeah, the SCL Winston Cup Series. If you mentioned, I think earlier, that I believe they do use the Winston Cup style points in this series. They are using, of course, the next gens that are also difficult to drive. I don't know if, you know, especially on a short track like this, where you really can be slipping and sliding, you know, just doesn't feel quite right for the track, but yet it still makes it that much more fun to drive once you get those long green flag runs.
It is, and you know, some of these drivers haven't been to Richmond yet, so it's like a learning process for some of these drivers. As you see, the pace light vehicles are off. We're getting ready to go green here from Richmond. And the question is, do we get a long green flag run? That is a question yet to be answered. And so far, we haven't seen one yet. Could this be the long green flag run that we've all been waiting for here? And you're noticing what I see, Angel, is that there's not a lot of Toyotas in this field. It's mostly Chevys and Fords. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on who's going to be working with who. And they're in the Geico restart zone. Green flag, back out.
Johnny Wood Jr., great restart for him again. The battle will be for second as they go down here into turn number 1 and 2. And Dalton Randolph gonna get Dalton Randolph gonna be able to clear for second on Michael Matta. And now Michael's under attack from Nathan Harper in that number 4 car as they drive through 3 and 4, but 16 with a great 3 and 4. He's gonna get right back to the outside to make a battle for second possibly, but I think he'll back off. It's still early in this race. I think I underestimated how good 3 and 4. Oh no, they're wrecking behind him off of 2. I'm sorry.
That's gonna bring out our 4th caution of the night. No.
They did slide to the bottom. Maybe they got cleared out enough. I think Michael Accord was involved in that one. I'm not sure who the other driver was, but they seem to be, cleared off of the racetrack. So that's actually going to keep us green. And so I was going to mention, you know, right before, regarding what you were talking about, do we get that green flag run? And I say Richmond is a track where once the tires warm up and everybody kind of gets a general feel for it, you know, where they know not to push it too hard off of the turn, yes, you will get a nice long green flag run where you're really going to have to learn to manage your tires and manage your equipment so that, you know, you can be there at the end. And right now, the 26 is right now the only driver who's been able to get up there with Johnny Wood, it looks like, and put some pressure for the lead.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be Dalton Randolph right there in the 26 Ford. That's been catching the 750 Johnny Wood Jr. And they're pulling away just a little bit here from 3rd place. But remember, they can use their tire wear up, and that third place driver might not be, and might be conserving his tires a little bit. So when those two drivers do, he can go right around them and become the leader. As they work their way out of turn number 2 here, everybody's running very smoothly here so far here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't care how many, cautions you get to start. Oh, looks like, what was that your leader? Johnny Wood, did he get into the wall a little bit off of 4? But nonetheless, you have about 37, 38 laps, per set of tires here. So I really don't care how many cautions you get. That is an entirely too much amount, for putting laps on those on your tires. So you should be in tire saving mode at all times here during this race, trying to conserve as much as possible. Some of these drivers right now, they're racing themselves pretty hard, side by side here, coming off of turn number 2. They'll single file there, but it's at least, yeah, there you go. That looks like that's the 38 of Zach Archer said, no, I don't want to battle right now. Go on by me, and he's going to let the 62 of Isaac Love by. And then Maxwell Caldwell, as you mentioned earlier, he's looking to attack and get into that 7th position at the expense of Zach Archer in that 38. Oh, Caldwell, real loose there off of 2. Nice save.
It's like a hornet's nest back here. Everybody bouncing off each other, trying to get as many positions as possible. Yeah, looking further back in the pack here.
That's the 46. Yeah, the 46 and then the 24 is a lap car of Chris Myers there. Everybody else, trying to keep it mostly, pretty calm, but there it is. They've gotten strung out a little bit. That's just what I was saying. Once they get a little bit strung out, you see the 26 blink in, blink out a little bit, is where it becomes that much more difficult to pass as well, because everybody's so strung out now. So you really have to just hit your marks and, let these other drivers come to you. Hit your laps, hit your marks, race the racetrack, and let the rest of them come to you.
You're going to get runs here and there. But, I mean, if you're fighting on that outside, I don't think I would want to be on the outside right now. Just stay where you are on that inside. And we're seeing a battle here between the 4 and the 62 there. And the 62 is Isaac Love on the inside.
Yeah, I was expecting the 4 to maybe just go ahead and let the 62 by. But it's going to fight hard here still on the outside of 3 and 4. But 62 is able to just send it there in 1 and 2. But look at this. The 4 is going to use the crossover coming off of 2. Does he have enough of a run to get to the inside? He's just going to back off and say, you can have it. And then here comes that 16 of Michael Matta. He had started on the outside of the front row position number 2. He's falling now back to the 6th position, trying, though, looks like, to eye that 4. 4 is going to get loose off of 2. He's going to get to his inside now. Oh, the 4 overdrives the next turn as well, something that's so common to do. When you mess up one turn, the next turn you kind of get a little bit freaked out. You either underdrive it or overdrive it again. It's really hard to hit that mark once you make that slight mistake. These drivers are going to clear themselves up fine. You got a couple of drivers lining up right behind. Leader Johnny Wood Jr. has pulled off to an 0.8 of a second lead, but the battle now is for second between Dalton Randolph and Justin Lewis, who keeps making his way up to the front, up 6 spots now, looking to make it 7 as he is to the inside of Dalton Randolph, battling side by side. Right now, that's Chevy and Ford. Your next, you mentioned Toyota's only 2 in the field. Right now, back in 10th and 11th for Joshua Yarborough and Austin Call. So, both of them looking to try to make up some more spots as this battle for second continues to stay hot. As Johnny Wood, he's loving it. He's just slowly going to keep pulling away as, whoa, it looks like both of them overdrove that corner a little.
Well, I mean, if you're a 750 Johnny Wood Jr., this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see these drivers, fight side by side, because that's just going to allow you to get a bigger gap. So, I mean, I don't know if I would want to battle side by side every lap. Just because, you're using your tire wear up. You're going to lose ground on the leader, and that's exactly what's happening right now with second and third.
off of that turn there, Johnny Wood, and even then he can just keep, you know, just, I wouldn't mind your distance at this point. Like, all right, oh, the 7's going to slide up a little bit, gets in the real hot into turn 3, something that's so easy to do. Makes slight contact with the 26, and, you know, they'll stay side by side. No issues there. They'll give them plenty of room as you see the 26 goes to that second to third lane up there in 1 and 2. Gets a really nice run off. Yeah, it's just a run off you get turn 2. It's so good. And it looks like the 7 might be able to send it hard enough. Can he keep it there, though, off of 4? And it looks like 26 is just going to go ahead and concede and let him on by.
Watch that 26. He's looking to the inside. And he's not going anywhere yet.
Make some decent time through there. But, yeah, he was really rolling that outside well, doing a pretty good job of it. And here it is, our 4th caution of the evening now on lap number 46.
Let's take a look at this replay here.
Okay, hold on. Let's, Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Oh, my. All right. So that's a 17.
Going off the turn here.
Coming off of turn number 4, going down the front straightaway.
Oh,
my.
my.
Wondering if a wheel disconnected.
It looks like he just got loose and it just immediately overcorrected.
Yeah. That's a shame for the 17. And you're seeing drivers come down pit road right now, going to get service done. And while they're getting service done, we're going to step back for a few moments, and we're going to come back right when this green flag flies back out in the air here from Richmond Raceway here in Virginia. Once again, we're going to step back, and we'll be right back.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live from Richmond Raceway, a 3/4 mile short track. They say drives like a super speedway. You're right on top of each other, but yeah, definitely that short track feel as we get ourselves a nice view from above this D-shaped oval. Daniel, how about it?
Yeah, so far we have seen an incredible racing so far between these drivers. So far, Johnny Wood Jr. has been out front leading most of the laps here tonight from Richmond. We also saw that 26 of Dalton Randolph, close in a little bit. But once they were battling side by side, that just hurt them. But you saw everybody come down pit road, get a new set of tires, get some fuel in their cars. So, now everybody's on equal playing ground. So this is going to be an opportunity for some drivers to get back up to the front.
You mentioned that here. We'll actually jump right down to it. Michael Matta actually going to take the lead under the pit cycle here. I actually believe he may have only taken right side tires, a 10-second pit stop. That definitely pretty quick there. So, and also the number 6 of Jonathan. Jonathan, I'm not going to try to butcher the last name. They're up 14 spots from his original starting position in 20th, where it looks like he also only took right side tires. Everybody else looks like they should have taken for feel good, so we'll have to see how they feel here on this restart now with 100 laps to go. We'll have 99 now when they go green.
Pace vehicle makes that left-hand turn. There's the 16 of Michael Matta. Can he hold off the 750? Let's see as the green flag flies back out here from Richmond, and Michael Matta immediately jumps up to that top line.
And Michael Matta's got that lead there going into turn 3, coming now off of turn number 4, looking to lead this lap, put him to the top of the board, as he now has Justin Lewis right behind him.
Look at this 7 of Justin Lewis now getting closer and closer to the 16 of Michael Matta. Oh, there's a car going around there, back straightaway.
He had, oh no, caution is going to come out from it. Oh man, I don't know if he was going to get aside, went straight or not, but doesn't look like he was able to. Oh, the 94, Maxwell Caldwell. Oh, loose there off of 2. He had it, locked the brakes down, locked it down. And I think that was just going to bring out the caution regardless. It stopped. I mean, there's nothing you can do there, you know. Best off, caution's going to come out regardless. Just completely, you know, lock it down so that nobody gets any damage.
Yeah, and, you know, when we're seeing most of these drivers now, you know, they know that turn number 2 has literally no grip. So you're beginning to wonder, are these drivers going to be a little more cautious, knowing that some of these drivers are going around in turn number 2, going down the back straightaway?
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that you really are going to have to just, you have to learn to adjust during the race, where it is going to be that slick off the turn. I mean, we go back, that's what was the temperatures like again? Air temp 65, but the track temp is actually up to 81, so it's actually a little bit slicker than it was earlier than that. So, you know, tire, you know, rubber being put down, you see it darkening up a little bit, but yeah, the track temp is still going to be a little warm for right now. It looks like these drivers, maybe even, it might even not be warm enough, actually. You know, sometimes with these next-gen cars, that, you know, you have to have the tires really hot in order for them to really kind of, you know, how to say, lock in, or, you know, get into that groove where they're really grippy and, you know, you can have some fun with them.
Well, so far, Michael Matta is out front. Johnny Wood Jr. falling back 2 positions, now sitting 3rd. And when we're thinking about point standings, right, Angel, you know, these drivers aren't, it's not a win and you're locked in. They're using the old point standings. So that's where every position is going to reward you with a certain amount of points. So you're going to want to finish as best as possible, because, you know, those points could be crucial later on in the season. And with these drivers, you know, running over each other in some of these events, it's really difficult to get those points.
Yeah, it's always going to be difficult to get points, no matter really where you're at. What, you know, anytime you have a chance to earn more points, you have to go out there and get them. It's got to be a strategy as well for some drivers, you know, where, you know, okay, I know that if you can't win a race in the season, or, you know, you don't think you can go out there and win your race, go out there and get as many points as you possibly can. Just keep, you know, lead some laps, do whatever it takes to go out there and get some points. And yeah, that can make a big difference, you know, at the end of the season, whether, you know, you finish, you know, 4th or 5th because you put it off at the end of the season, or, you know, you kind of just kept giving up every race and you finish, you know, 12th or 13th. And you know what? 4th and 5th are a whole lot better than finishing 12th and 13th, in my opinion.
And you know, there's one thing that I always like to say, Angel. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, but, you know, some drivers risk it for a biscuit, and you gotta take that risk to get that biscuit. And you know, that we've seen drivers that fight for points and unfortunately wreck themselves out and finish literally dead last and don't get points at all. So do you want to risk it, get points? I meant risk it and not get points, or do you want to risk it and hopefully, you know, you go out there and hopefully finish in top 5 or collect the win?
And I think that really does lead back to, you know yourself as a driver. Do you think you can go out there and win a race? Then all right, keep on risking it.
Right.
But if you don't think so, you know, and you put yourself in that hole, you know, why even do that? So go ahead and, you know, be smart. Get yourself the points. As looks like that pace car is ready to go down pit lane.
Yeah, and you know what time it is? I think it's a perfect time to crank it up. Let Barney the flagman throw that green flag in the air. Listen to crank it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We're going to have to turn this session off a little early. We did have a caution come out here at that one moment in time, so we'll get back over to where we have to be. For our sixth caution of the evening.
Let's take a look at this replay here. You see the 16 of Michael Matta and the 7 right behind him, Justin Lewis in the top 2. But back here, you see smoke up front there by the 43. Oh, that's the 750 Johnny Wood Jr. up there in the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Collecting Ronnie Hurst Jr. in the 22. Remember, Angel, he was out there competing for this win.
Yeah, he was somebody you didn't think could be passed. We'll jump right back over to it. Oh, okay, hold on. He may have had just a little bit of help there. We'll go back this up just a little bit more.
Oh, looks like the 62 there.
Let's see, the 62 have any help from the 26 as they go into turn number 3. Oh, the 62, I don't know. Maybe just sent it in there where he didn't need it. I think that was a little bit of a send. Oh,
also,
man.
You know, the 62 also, you know, could have... he might have saw that hole right there, so he might have wanted to fill that gap and didn't realize that that gap was closing that quickly. And when you're looking in your mirror, Angel, you don't even know how fast things go, because you can look in your mirror and there's a hole, and then next thing you know, you try to fill that hole and you're around into the wall. And that's how fast things move around here.
Yeah, I do get that. So that was definitely the case of what happened there. I don't know maybe who all is gonna be happy to have had that happen to them wherever they are. Let's go ahead and find one of these drivers, see if we can bring them in here for a quick discussion. Let's see, is our leader? Is there a leader out there? Let's see. Actually, the leader is. Let's go ahead and bring him on.
I was pulling away from Justin a little bit.
Michael, sorry. It looks like we pulled you off of your team. This is Angel and Daniel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us.
Yeah. What's up?
Well, Michael, here we are. Sorry, just threw me off here. 23 years old from Waterbury, Connecticut, Michael, and you got yourself the lead right now. What's the plan? How can you keep it there?
It's gonna be tough. Justin's a great short track racer. I'm not great. I don't know how I got second in qualifying. I was pure luck, but it's gonna be tough up here in lead with only 2 tires on here. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, we noticed that you did take those 2 tires. How are those 2 tires really, feeling? Are did you plan for 2 tires before this? Is it just say, let's go ahead and give it a shot? How's it handling compared to what you had on fresh tires before?
I'm actually noticing that clean air is pretty good at the moment. I think I'm feeling pretty even with how I was with regular, just 4 tires on it. I think if I get back in traffic, it's going to be real bad, though.
Yeah, that can be when it gets intense as a driver dealing with, this the dirty air and the bad tires. Before I let Daniel see if he's got any quick questions for you, or actually Daniel, we'll go ahead and see if we've got any questions for you. It looks like we are about to be 1 degree now.
Yeah. Well, Michael, man, I want to wish you luck here in the rest of the race. And so far, you're doing pretty good keeping hold off this rest of this field. So all I can say is good luck and hope to interview you later.
Thanks.
All right, and that was the 16 machine of Michael Matta there leading the pack back to this restart. Pace car makes its way on the pit road. Angel, you want to take this one?
There we go. Pace cars down pit lane. Michael Matta, sorry, to the point here. Going to get a great restart as they dive down into turn number 1. The battle will definitely be there for a second between Justin Lewis. Oh, there's a hard hit in the wall there.
How far up he went. Oh my goodness. That yellow and black Ford back there was all over the place. He's in that third line and lost a couple positions, but right here, top 5, all single file, as we're under caution again.
Let's see what all happened there. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Steven Johnson, holy moly. That's got to be the hardest hit I ever seen.
Yeah,
Richmond.
He took a good hit there, contact with the 45, and it just spun and spun and spun. Hopefully he wasn't in VR, because that probably wouldn't have been too pleasant for him. All right, so that brought out our 7th caution here of the evening. Now lap number 70. We have again those 7 cautions, but this race is almost halfway over. So unfortunately for some of these drivers, the intensity will start to pick up here soon. Let's go ahead and double check. Yes, so Michael did take his right sides, and Jonathan in that number 6. He was the other driver to take just 2 tires on that last pit stop. So we'll have to see if, for now, looks like right now running in 9th still, so it's running pretty good. And I know you mentioned earlier those Toyotas and the lack of them here in the field, only 2. And this number 18 of Austin Call running a pretty good looking paint scheme. I have to say they made this Toyota front look pretty nice with this Interstate Batteries scheme.
Hey, I think the scheme matches perfectly fine on that new body there for the Toyota. And it brings back the good old days, Angel. Bobby Labonte and that Interstate Batteries car and all that. And I think it's the sharpest paint scheme of them all tonight.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp. I have to give credit that they did a really good job, and you're right. This so Bobby Labonte paint scheme fits pretty darn good on this Toyota Camry. We ought to see this back, hopefully, for the Darlington race this year. We did see Bobby Labonte is in a consulting role with Joe Gibbs Racing this year, so it wouldn't be the worst thing to have an opportunity to see that. We'll go back over here to the leader. The pace lights are still on here. So let's actually get a chance here just for a moment to quickly go through the... we'll go through the field on the next one here just to make sure we have enough time to get through everybody top to bottom, even if they're not on the lead lap. Right now, so lap 71, probably about lap 73, maybe 74 when we do go green flag racing here. Once again, so a driver like Michael, he took two tires, and if the cautions keep falling right, and he said if he can stay in this clean air, it can really work out for you. So do you see this as an opportunity for some other drivers to try it later on in the race, or do you think maybe it's just too risky and he just happened to be up front already with a good handling race car?
Well, you definitely want a good handling race car here, and we're seeing drivers struggle with a few things on their race cars, but that's why they come down pit road and they get their service done. Now the pace car lights are off, and we're getting closer and closer to this checker flag here, Angel. We're already past lap 50 and all that, so we're getting close to the halfway point here.
Yeah, we are getting close to that halfway point. I want to give a quick shout out to that number 4 of Harper from our YouTube chat. I'm not gonna try to butcher the name there either. Giving just a shout out to that Foxfire Foods number 4 Chevy Camaro. Getting ready to go green flag racing. Looks like the pace car is pulling down pit lane. They're going through the Geico restart zone. Michael Matta with a great restart once again there on the outside. Seems to be the preferred lane for that for the restarts. he's going to cut down here in front of Justin Lewis, who did clear for second. It's a battle for third and fourth, and, well, 2 by 2 by 2 from there on out. Oh, the 4 is going to lock it up.
Oh, that 4 car of Nathan Harper washed up. We're 3 wide at Richmond.
Yeah, the 4 is going to hit the wall again. So easy once you, overdrive the corner. Just make it so much worse as that run continues. And I just love seeing some of these throwback paint schemes. You see this 27 here. That's 75 for Chad Jones there in what is the, that Western Auto Parts 17 for Darrell Waltrip. So a lot of great paint schemes here tonight. We're seeing plenty of throwbacks at number 10 for, looks like, was that the 10 for, I don't know if that was Scott Riggs, Valvoline number 10, but that's a great looking one there as well. So you continue to see them throughout the field, great paint schemes all throughout. That's one thing I love about iRacing, the opportunity to see so many different paints on display. As while we were blabbing about that, the 7 was able to take the lead back from the 16, and, well, Daniel, our 8th caution of the evening.
Man, let just keep on coming here tonight from Richmond. And with the 7 of Justin Lewis out front, something tells me that's going to be very hard to pass Justin Lewis here. And we're taking a look at our replay right now. On your screen, you're going to see what caused our caution here, and it's on the front straightaway.
Yeah, something happened here in front of us. Let's see. Oh, did something happen? Nope. Come on. If it's it'll move it over eventually. There we go. So that's the
back it up here. 62 involved again.
Yeah, but this time I think it's the 06 bounces off that outside wall and comes down. Yeah, nowhere for the 62 to go. Poor thing. Yeah.
I don't see anybody else. Oh, the 44 Steven Johnson collected again in a huge incident. Not looking good for the 44 tonight.
The 44 definitely not having the evening I would say that he had hoped here for Richmond. These drivers do only get one fast repair, and they actually have an incident limit of 29 as well. So some of these drivers might be getting to that point. With 100% fuel, though, we know they should be good to make it through to the end. Fuel-wise, tires definitely not. They'll want to come back in, as you mentioned earlier. This would be a tire pit stop if we do have green flag stops. Definitely not for fuel.
Oh, for sure. And, there goes Ronnie Hurst Jr. He's going to get his lap back. But we go to all different style tracks, right, Angel? We go to super speedways. We go to these 1.5 miles. We go to, short tracks such as Richmond, Bristol, And, there's some drivers that are really good at short tracks. Some aren't good at short tracks. We could go to 1.5 miles next week. Some drivers are really good at 1.5 miles, and the drivers that are good at short tracks aren't really good at 1.5 miles. So I love how we have these different tracks, different varieties, road courses as well, because it shows what part that you're very, very good at.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that. So, last week we were at Charlotte, this week at Richmond, and then next week they do head to Indianapolis. So 3 very, very different tracks that we get to experience in this series. So we are excited to bring to you next week that race from Indianapolis as well, from the Sim Racing Media Network right here on Monday night again at 8:30. So that'll be an exciting one to watch, to see these drivers take on the legendary Brickyard there in Indianapolis. As that 7, he does have that lead. I'm interested to see how Michael Matta is able to respond. He'll now be restarting on the inside, the not preferred lane on this. However, the second place car, it's not like he's been having an awful time either. If he restarts on the inside, they've at least been able to hold on to second. That's what Justin Lewis had been doing.
Race vehicle lights are going to come off this time by. And we're going to have Justin Lewis on the inside, Michael Matta on the outside. Row 2, we're going to have the 26 of Dalton Randolph and the 38 of Zach Archer, Angel. Really haven't talked about Zach Archer much tonight.
No, that number 38's kind of just hung around. You know, he had a little bit of issues at the start. We saw him dropping back a couple of spots, but he's made his way back up here. He started in the 8th position, so he had a top 10 starting spot at least. But, you know, he's looking to improve that. Right now, that outside front row. Look at this second row. They're eager. They're pushing those 2 front drivers. They are eager to go green flag racing.
And Barney, the flag man's gonna throw that green flag, and we're back underway here with Justin Lewis leading them into turns 1. Field getting organized here. Crossing the start-finish line, Justin Lewis leading that pack. Everybody inside the top 5 single file. We're looking back at position 5 and 6, still battling side by side. And you're seeing Austin Call getting hanged out dry there on the outside. He's going to have to try to get to that inside if he doesn't want to fall back.
Oh, a little bit of contact between the 27 and the 18 you just mentioned. The 27 going to have to back off through 3 and 4 there. No harm, no foul between the 2 of them. But however, the foul for that 27, him having to back off, he now has that 58 of Adam Lowe to his inside as they battle for that 7th position. Look at both of them fighting hard with those. Oh, man, that is a good view right there. They are fighting hard, working hard against each other. But you know what? Racing clean for that 7th position right now. And 27 does clear him there as they go into 1. 58 almost gives him a little bump. A little bit later in this race, I guarantee you that would have been a bump to try to make that pass.
Watch that 16 of Michael Matta. He might be using that outside line. He's looking, but he's all under fire from that 38 of Zach Archer. I mean, Zach Archer was all over the back bumper.
Yeah, Zach Archer is trying to make something happen. Again, remember, that 16 is still running on a 2-tire stop that they made almost 40 laps ago. Again, not a ton of green flag laps, but still, you know, those left sides are going to be a lot older than some of those other drivers. You see him drive it hard there into 1. That's going to cost him some time. Decent run there off of 2 should allow him to stay there in 3rd, but ooh, that blinking number 26 is probably going to affect his turn 3 and 4 as well.
Inside the top 5, everybody very, very close to each other right now. And looking further back in the pack, see the 43 there of Ryan Farrell. Really haven't talked about Ryan Farrell last season. He was there, got into a really bad accident after Iowa, and oh, there he goes. He's into the wall down the back straightaway. That's Ryan Farrell. Right as we're talking about him, that is so bad timing.
What are the odds?
I don't even know what to say.
All right, let's go back in and I know we got a little bit of a view of that, but let's go ahead. Oh, the 43 is just loose there off of turn number 2.
It just washes up the track there into.
He's chasing it.
086. Right there. Look how loose he gets.
Nowhere to go, and it's just gonna clobber the 086 of Tyler Rudge. The 62, man, poor thing. He'd nowhere to go. Looks like maybe minor contact. And then Lilith Peters to the inside in the 1. Locking up her brakes to try to avoid it. She's going to get some contact with that inside wall, unfortunately, as they continue to try to make their way through. But, oh, man, unfortunate there for the 43. Really loose, chasing it up off the corner. And contact with the 86 is going to give him some heavy damage. Hopefully not having to use his fast repair just yet. But look at this. A lot of drivers making their way down pit lane, and guess what? A lot of these ones who have maybe been staying out. I don't know what we just saw there on screen. 9 cars are going to stay out here. Johnny Wood Jr., your pole sitter, are going to get back up here to the front with some strategy. Chris Myers, he started back in the 17th position up here at 2nd. He was a lap down at one point, so talking about trying to come back from being a lap down. Now back in 2nd. Isaac Love, you see him, you know, he's had a couple of issues tonight, but he's ran in the top 10. Brendan Cornoyer, there in the number 55, up 20 spots. Jonathan there in the 6th, he's going to stay out as well. He had actually pit on the last one of previous stop of lap 77 during that caution for 4 fresh fuel goods. The 10 car is going to stay out as well. You have Ronnie Hurst in the number 22. And then Justin Lewis is going to come back out in the 8th position after coming in for 4 fresh tires. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have 7 cars that officially stayed out. 2 others would come back down pit lane after the fact. So it looks like everybody would take 4 tires from here on out. Everybody running on some different strategy. Johnny Wood Jr. actually, his last pit, at least for tires, would have been at a similar mark, at lap 47, I have to imagine, because on his lap 62 pit stop, he is there for only 3 seconds, which would have been when he needed to get that fast repair. So, Daniel, I'm really interested. We got a lot of different pit strategy up front here. Some of these drivers who are going to have on older tires, some who that probably could make a difference, some not at all. A lot of mixed strategy here at the front now. We're going to have probably 67, maybe 68 laps to go when we go green.
Yeah, these drivers, I mean, it all comes down to strategy basically, because you see some drivers that might take only right side tires, Angel, and we've seen drivers win with just 2 tires compared to 4, but I mean, on these short tracks, it's always the 4 tires that get the advantage.
Yeah, you say that, but I mean, I don't know. Michael Matta, right sides, put him up front, give him an opportunity. I think that was pretty, it showed pretty, I think it shows it's possible with the right car driver combination. And again, you got to be right there, and you got to come out first and have that fresh air, to really make it work. But the pace lights are off, and Johnny Wood Jr. ready to lead us back to green for the first time in probably a good 50 or 60 laps. They go through the Geico restart zone there. Johnny Wood Jr. up to the point. He already knows how to restart there. Does a great job on the inside. Even though most everybody's doing the outside, he gets it done. Leaves them side by side for second between Isaac Love and Chris Myers, as 62 is not able to clear for second. It's a side by side battle through the entire pack. There's 3 wide further back.
26 of Dolan Randolph. We're back there. Oh, he's into the 22 Ronnie Hurst.
More 3 wide behind them. This is crazy all the way around, as the Hornet's Nest is the entire track. The intensity is going to only continue to pick up as we do reach that 50 lap mark. Oh no, the 18. Oh, we got a big wreck back there.
That's a corner in the pack at least. And that's the 22 Ronnie Hurst Jr., the 2 of Todd Merkel also involved.
All right, we're going to start this back here because it started with the 18 of Austin Call. Oh, he's loose. Just chasing it. Contact with the 21. He's going to bounce. Nice job for 21 to save it, honestly. 22, nowhere to go. Drives right into the back of him. To 75, nowhere to go. Sends the 22 back in. To 38, nowhere to go as well. Oh, the 69. He's had just a tough night tonight, as does the 2 there, Todd Merkel, to get involved in it. I don't know if the 77 looks like he might have made it through, but yeah, you got a 5 or 6 car incident, probably one of our biggest wrecks here tonight, to bring out our 10th caution of the evening. We don't believe here in the broadcaster's curse. So I'm sorry. We're not gonna say that.
that was not chat. That I wasn't even expecting that, to be honest with you.
Oh my goodness. No, that was intense. We'll let these drivers go back around here. Daniel, coming down to what will be less than 50 laps to go, probably right at 50 laps to go once we go back green flag racing, and that could be done within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Rather quickly.
Well, since we're under caution here, I want to thank every viewer here on Sim Racing Media watching this wonderful race here for SCL Winston Cup Series live from Richmond Raceway. I'm Daniel Pauls Jr. Alongside me in the broadcast booth is Angelo Santiago. We want to thank all of our producers for what they do and cameramen for put on great footage here from Virginia. We're going to step back for a few moments as we're going to take our final commercial break of the evening. Let me know when to bring
lights. Oh, sorry about that, Daniel. We are back. I just brought you back perfectly on time. I'm sorry. We had a little bit of a slight issue with the commercial wanting to run a second time, but we don't have time for that. Lights are off on the pace car, on that iRacing.com pace car. 10th caution is getting ready to be completed here. Lap 100 will be completed as well in that time, leaving us exactly 50 laps to go when we go green.
Well, 50 laps, that's going to go very, very fast here. And especially after what we saw, then it's going to ramp up. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not putting any curse on anybody, but it's going to ramp up. And look who's out front. Again, it's the 750 Johnny Wood Jr. starting this race on pole. Will he finish it first? We're about to find out. And green flags in the air as they are in turns 1 and 2, battling hard for second place.
Yeah, the 62 gets in there deep. It slides up a little bit. The 24 is going to have to let up, give him the room, as they're going to have to try to battle for second there into turn 3. 62 with the defensive line to not allow the 24 under him, and he'll keep second as the 24 slides back ever so slightly as they come across the line. Problems there for the 6, going to back them up a little bit behind them. That's one thing. Something can be okay for you.
Oh, look at the 7.
Wow.
Sorry to cut you off there, Angel, but look at the 7 of Justin
Lewis. What a move. Oh, no, and then he gets loose.
Oh, there he goes. He's getting loose. He's going to go around the grass.
Does he?
And he's going to tap the inside wall.
Just a slight tap. We go back up here to the front. The 6 and the 26. Slight contact there through off of turn 2. Justin Lewis, who had a fast car, first 1 or 4 fresh feel goods, he gets under them and then gets loose there off of turn number 4, which is so easy, again, on those cold, fresh tires where you just got to give them a couple laps to really build that pressure, build that heat for you. And, man, the Hornet's Nest continues behind as they are just trying to figure out who's going to be where.
26. A lot of these drivers, Angel, struggling with their handling right now, and you're seeing it with the 26 as well. And man, you are right, this is a hornet's nest because there are drivers so everywhere, every lane. We're on the bottom, middle, top group, you name it, they're there, and they're putting on a heck of a performance here tonight from Richmond. And we might go 3. Oh man, I thought we were going to go 3 wide there for a second. I was like, no.
No, the 26.
That's not good.
Dalton Randolph with a big defensive move down to the bottom to keep the 6, and then the 6 trying to go under him, and then the 27 trying to go under the 6. So that's what caused that little bit of a slow up there. The beneficiary, the 26, gets to hold on to his position. While the 6 and the 27, man, they stay battling side by side, coming off of 4, almost contact, and right behind a little bit of just a kiss in the wall there for that number 16 of Michael Mata as he dives to the inside. He's on 4 fresh field goods. He's back on pace with these guys. He's looking to show speed. Oh, the 6 is going to get really loose there off of turn 2. A little bit too much throttle. Great job of saving it.
Lose a lot of positions.
Yeah, but he didn't destroy the car, didn't bring a caution out. Great job there for the 6 to save it as we move on here to the number 16. Trying now. He's got the freshest tires of some of these guys around him. Dalton Randolph and Trevor Dalton just in front of him do have fresh fuel goods as well. And, man, here comes the 21 of Adam Brady now to the inside. So part of trying to get back to the front is also not using your tires up too much. As right now, not Chris Myers. Dalton Randolph is trying to trace down Chris Myers and these front guys. Again, with a little bit of fresher tire, but not a ton. We didn't have that many green flag laps on those tires for some of those guys in front either.
As we're looking back mid-pack here, you're seeing drivers that are going to look. Oh, 16 gets tapped by the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. And we haven't talked about Maxwell Caldwell in a long time here tonight. And he got a little squirrely right there, but he's just outside the top 10. And speaking of Maxwell Caldwell, 3-time champion of the series, I mean, you would expect to see him up here competing for the win here tonight, but that just tells you how tough the traffic is here, Angel, at Richmond.
Yeah, well, I mean, you talk about the traffic and how tough it is. You know, we'll look onto the battle right there just a little bit behind them with the 38 and I believe the 55, where look what it took Johnny Wood Jr., your pole sitter. You know, he's got one of the fastest cars here on track. He was your pole sitter. You know, once he got mired back in traffic, he just couldn't get back to the front. It took some pit strategy really to allow him to get, you know, back up there. And, you know, now with this long, you know, as this, you know, this run continues, he's just trying to maintain his pace there over Isaac Love, who, you know, through all his adversity today, Isaac is just, you know, I think he knows he's got a quick race car here tonight, and he is trying to exemplify that because, you know, again, he's been through a lot, and he is still up here running in that second position, and he's running there in a strong way as well.
Johnny Wood Jr. out front comfortably, but don't count out the 62 of Isaac Love. And Isaac Love's been caught up in a lot of incidents here tonight, Angel, and look where he's sitting right now. Second place, competing for top 3 or competing for a win, as I like to say, because second place ain't half bad. Oh, Trevor Dalton's coming back up.
Oh my goodness, 11th caution here of the evening. Wow, almost stunned just there. The 26 there, contact with the 24. We'll go back to it, you know, where the 24 just loses it. Okay, looks like it's gonna put us a little bit further back here, so we'll keep it slow. But I mean, doesn't you see it right there? 24, he's just high. He's there, gets tight, gets loose. Whoa! Oh, 26, nowhere to go for him. Same thing with the 27. Nobody else, luckily, involved in this one, but that will once again shake up the field drastically. Johnny Wood Jr. stays out here. A lot of these drivers probably coming down for what is their final set of tires. 36 to go. I don't know. Do you think it's too early to be putting on your final set? You had a little bit of a, we had about a 15 lap run there almost, where I don't know. You get another 15 lap run and then another caution. These guys that can go put on a set, and they might be, the faster cars. But yeah, this is going to be tough to say.
Well, it's all going to come down to strategy where you are. I mean, if you're 20th or worse, I would maybe 15th or worse. I don't think we're going to have enough time to get up to the front, because at short tracks, 50 laps goes by very, very fast, and we're already past 50 to go. So, I mean, time's running out. These drivers know time's running out. So, I mean, if you're going to want to compete for a win, compete for top 5, top 10, time to buckle seats down and start racing, because I'm seeing a lot of racing going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, you had your top 11 cars stay out here, from Johnny Wood Jr. in first through Tillman Hewer there in that number 11, back in the 11th spot, actually. So, I mean, and then everybody, I mean, and all those guys who didn't pit, you know, anywhere from lap 60 to lap 98 was their last pit stop, and 60 being for Johnny Wood Jr. But again, he's out front showing that it doesn't matter, you know. He's got what he's got. I mean, I don't know if I would want to go 90 laps, even with caution laps, you know, on your tires. But if it works for him, or if he's expecting, you know, to come in, you know, maybe at the next caution, give it a couple laps to have the freshest tires at the end, while also, you know, good balance of track position, because you also can't wait until the last 10 laps to use your final set of tires. It really, at that point, it's just no good. You put yourself in too bad a track position at that point. It looks like we should
be one to go here.
Yeah.
Coming across the start finish line.
There we go.
Yep, and there they go. Ooh, Adam Lone at 58 could be a wild card spoiler here tonight.
Yeah, he's actually got the freshest tires of the drivers behind him, or, you know, of this top group, having pit on lap 80, on that lap 89 caution. You know, again, not a ton of green flag laps up until that last 15 lap run we had. So definitely someone to keep an eye on. You know, we spoke with Michael Matta earlier as well. He was dropping a couple of spots before that caution came out, so we'll have to see how it reacts. But lights are off on that pace car. Let's go green here.
Could this be the final restart? We don't know, but green flags in the air. Johnny Wood Jr. leading them. And let me tell you, it's a hornet's nest right behind them, all swarming to get that lead.
I love that. Oh, no, there it is. They're wrecking there off of 2.
Oh, wow. Multiple cars involved there. I see the 24, the 77 involved. The 22, Ronnie Hirsch Jr. involved again.
Oh, the 38 sideways. He's the first one that's going to bring out this incident. That's the 38 of Zach Archer. Sideways there off of turn number 2. Did he have help, though? Yeah, I think he may have had a little bit of help from that 18, because he bumped him once,
right there,
and then he bumped him twice.
Kiss right there. Don't want to be bumping into turns, and that little bit on the quarter panel's going to send the 38 around. 4 gets into the 18 of Austin Call, sends him into the 2 of Todd Merkel. And man, look at Todd Merkel, just squeezes by there in 11. And
oh, the 69. Oh, his 9.
yeah,
has
nobody
to be over
behind
there.
him, nowhere to go.
Everybody just in wreckage avoidance mode there. And again, he stops in the middle. There's nowhere else you can go in that situation. You see the 7 of Justin Lewis just going to kind of squeeze by. Now back there in the 17th position, as you see the cars coming down the backstretch here. All right, we know we mentioned it earlier, but we're going to go ahead and take one more commercial break here for the evening before we strap on and get ready for the final leg of this race, for the final 20-something laps we will have when we go green flag once again. We'll be right back, everybody. Hang on tight. All right, we are back live here from Richmond Raceway for the Sim Racing Media Network SCL Winston Cup Series. Their round number 6 here of the season, visiting this historic racetrack in Virginia. And here we are. We're going to have 25 now, going to be 24 laps to go before we crown ourselves a winner. And what's been a hectic race for a lot of these drivers, Daniel.
It has been a hectic race, and let me tell you, I don't think it's over either.
Yeah, these cars can really beat tanks. But right now, here it is. 24 laps to go when they go green flag racing. Johnny Wood here to the point, and he's going to get himself a great restart, as the battle's going to be from second on back. It is going to be chaos as they go through turns 1 and 2, trying to find their way off of 2. So they're keeping themselves all pretty tame for now as they go into 3. Tame for now, as we say, but they're still 2, almost 3 wide.
Hey, look who's inside the top 5. What a great recuperation there for the 94, 3-time champion of the series of Maxwell Caldwell, up here contending for a top 3 here tonight.
Yes, he is. He's going to now look to the inside of, oh no, Adam, oh no, contact between Caldwell and Michael Matta. They're going to mostly keep it straight. I don't know what all happened there. Oh no, now they're definitely wrecking from behind. Oh, big time issue there. Let's go back and try to digest what, the caution came out, but what happened before that was kind of, what started it all. Let's see.
Well, let's take a look at this replay here. Causing, I do believe it's our 15th caution of the night from Richmond.
Looks like our 13th caution here.
13th caution.
All right.
Oh,
so
right here. You see Maxwell Caldwell going down the back straightaway. He's going to try to make a move at the inside of the 16 of Michael Matta. And right here going into turn number 3, you see him going down there, but he's going to slide up the track a little bit. Locks it up, hits Michael Matta, comes back down, 21's collected. And you see we're 4 wide here, but further back in the pack, we had another wreck, and those drivers behind them thought that they were going to wreck coming back up the track. Obviously, that wasn't the case, and they actually wrecked themselves, which we see it too much, Angel. We see a lot of that happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 6 being involved in that one as well. Oh my goodness! And
you see right there, 27
of
Trevor Dalton trying to avoid this. You see, he's going to go high, and then 10 decides to go high.
6 and a 27, just, oh my goodness, there's nowhere to go for a lot of these guys.
No, everybody's scrambling. It's not like when you're in the driver's seat, Angel, you're not even thinking about what's around you. You're just trying to avoid the wreck. So that's what causes more people to wreck into each other. But that is the very unfortunate for most of these drivers here tonight from Richmond. And let me tell you, this has been an action-packed race. And I mean, next week we're going to be going to, what is it?
Indianapolis, actually. So another great
Indianapolis. And I remember the last time I was at Indianapolis, I saw somebody go flying into the catch fence. So who knows what's going to happen at the Brickyard.
Hopefully not for some of these drivers right now. And we have a couple people mentioning in chat. Yeah, we have some drivers moving up the field. Todd Merkel here. In that number 2 Ford Mustang from Dearborn, Michigan. He's up 20 spots from his 25th starting position. Liz Peters up here from Tampa. She's up to the 6th position, up 21 spots. Big jump so far. And then that number 11 of Tillman Hewer mentioned earlier as well. Just kind of minding his P's and Q's, and had some incidents early on that he was involved with, but he's been able to make his way back up here into the 9th position now with what is 18 to go, but I suspect we should see that improve. And then as well, throw in that 43 of Ryan Farrell there, he's up 18 spots. So he started all the way tail end of the pack from Lindenwood. I don't know, New Jersey. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm just not gonna try there. We'll go back over here to your leader from Mooresville, North Carolina. Johnny Wood. I'd say he's truly proved that track position is so important here tonight, because he was just a non-factor when he got stuck out in the back of the pack, and yet he's back up here up front, and you just haven't seen that waver since.
Well, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, Angel.
Yes, we are. I do apologize if you guys have to hear me breathe deeply in for whatever reasons. I'm still recovering from a fractured rib, so I got to take my deep breaths every once in a while, make sure I do that correctly. And so I try to mute myself when I can. If I don't, I apologize. So 17 to go. I of course suspect we can have one more caution, but you really have to assume that if these guys can make it green, because again, he has some incident point limits. You never know where it'll happen from. Green flag back in the air. They go through the Geico restart zone. Another great restart for Johnny Wood Jr. as the battle for second isn't going to be existing. Isaac Love clears it. It's a battle for third between the two. Man. Oh, man, we're three wide possibly.
Four. Oh, my goodness. That 4 is going 3 wide right off the back, going down the back straightaway. Oh, there goes the one of Lil Peters. They save it. I don't know how she saved it, but she saved it, and we're 3 wide here. And still more contact mid-pack there. As we're still 3 wide going into turn 1. More contact between the 16 of Michael Matta and the 10.
Michael Matta. The 10, the 11, they both lose it there off of 2. The 06, he's going to keep it together. The 16 and the 1, they made contact a couple times. I don't know if it's on purpose or just so happened where they are, but that's part of that short track racing. They just keep bumping and banging. And here it is, the top of the board. Johnny Wood just put the fastest lap of anybody here in the pack on these very much older tires. So showing the heat in his tires is what you want to do, along with some fresh air. Battle in the pack is where it is intense right now, though. Look at this. This is for 8th on back right now. They're 3 wide for 10th.
Well, I mean, look at the one of Lil Peter. She's been 3 wide the last 2 laps. Hasn't gotten out of this hornet's nest at all. And you're starting to figure, easy.
What a save. I thought that was lost. She did a great job of locking it in. I don't know how much
longer they can keep going on like this. I mean, this is pretty intense here.
This is unreal. The battle we are getting here in the mid-pack, it is just a dogfight here. Everybody's locking it up, trying to keep it together. The 11 smacks the wall a little bit, just trying to keep it together. Everyone around going to give a little bit of room. And, man, look at these drivers right in front. Justin Lewis right behind Michael Matta, and Ryan Farrell right behind him. So all these drivers just trying to make up as many spots as possible. We saw each one of them having good runs here at one point. They feel like maybe they're not running where they should have been. So they're just trying to make up time. But Johnny Wood is the only one loving this right now.
He's sailing.
He is sailing it away. 10 laps to go here for SCL at Richmond. And the battle for third is intense as Dalton Randolph going to get up under Adam Lowe. Contact between the two coming off of 2. As that'll allow the 2 of Todd Merkel to get under the 58 as well.
Coming across the line with 9 laps to go here at Richmond with Johnny Wood Jr., who sat on the pole, has struggled a little bit throughout the race, got back up here into the lead, and nobody has been catching him since. And let me tell you, I don't think anybody's going to catch him unless a caution comes out. Now coming in turns 3 and 4, now coming with 8 laps to go. Right now, the battle's between the 58 of Adam Lowe and the 2 of Todd Merkel. And remember, Todd Merkel, he's always there. He's literally the Kevin Harvick closer, because he just shows up out of nowhere competing for these top 10s.
The 26 of Dalton Randolph from the third position comes back up the track. Does he save it? No.
He's come back up the track.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think anybody's going to be involved in this one, but that is going to unfortunately bring out a caution running from the third position there for the 26. Oh, my goodness. That is unfortunate. And, that's going to leave us with probably a very short 4 to go, probably on a restart, if not less. So let's go ahead and we'll go right back to it. I mean, we saw exactly what, brought out that caution.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this 26. You see him coming off of turn number 2. Once again, gets loose, overcorrects it, goes down to that inside wall, and up the track he goes.
What a lucky
I mean,
break for him.
I don't know how people avoided that.
Yeah, everybody did a great job of, and him as well. He just locked it down, kept it to the bottom, avoid having a big incident there. With 5 to go, of course, 6 to go right now. Going to be 5 to go as they come across the line. Johnny Wood Jr., Isaac Love there, currently in the second position. Adam Lowe, he's made himself done a great job there from Stony Point, North Carolina in third. Todd Merkel in fourth. Nathan Harper in fifth. Justin Lewis, we mentioned earlier, he's from Columbus, Indiana there in the sixth position. We got to speak with Michael earlier there in seventh. Lilith Peters as well, mentioned earlier, she's there in eighth. Trevor Dalton, man, for everything he's been through from Spokane, he's there up into ninth, and as well as Austin Call from Spring, Texas, running there. Nice recovery for him as well with what's been a bad night. And Chris Myers as well, he's also been up and down tonight. So Chesapeake, Virginia.
Hey, I mean, look at this top 10 right now, Angel. You see, you got Johnny Wood Jr., Isaac Love, Adam Lowe, Todd Merkel, Nathan Harper, Justin Lewis, Michael Matta, Lilith Peters, Trevor Dalton, and Austin Call. I mean, were any of these 10 drivers on your bingo card to finish in the top 10 here tonight?
Well, I mean, you have to have, okay, so Johnny Wood might be the exception, of course, because he was your pole sitter.
Right.
Michael Matta, he's been running up here, and then Justin Lewis has been up and down, but everybody else is kind of flirted with it. Like Isaac Love, he's flirted with the front, but he's also been involved in a couple incidents where he has been there in the back. I mean, and then you can still bring in your pole sitter where he got involved in his own incident, and he was stuck mired in back and took that lap, I think it was 89. Yeah, lap 89 is where we saw most of the fuel come in for tires and fuel, whatever it was. I mean, 100% fuel. We know they were good to make it to the end. But he decided to stay out, and he's done a great job on these tires. Again, he put down his fastest lap of the day, a 22.03, which I think only Justin Lewis has been able to match that. And maybe Michael Matta has gotten close. But other than that, nobody's really been close enough where he's fast, and he's got the heat in his tires where he wants them. He's feeling good, and there it is. This is gonna be a green-white checker. This will be a natural one as well. Actually, 3 to go, and the lights just went off on the pace car.
Well, when we cross line, it's gonna be 2 laps to go, and right now you got the 750 Johnny Wood Jr., who sat on pole, now has the opportunity to collect the trophy after 150 laps. But right on the outside of him, he has the 62 Isaac Love. We have Adam Lowe, Todd Merkel, even Nathan Harper. I mean, all of those drivers that are inside the top 10, I say, have a legitimate shot. But I'm going to say the first 3 rows have a really good chance at it. You see the pace car make its way off of pit road. We're in overtime here in Richmond. Green flags in the air. Johnny Wood Jr. gets a great launch here from Richmond.
It is going to be a tight battle here in the rest of the pack. You're going to want to look at it as they come off of turn 2. See if everybody can keep it together. Whoa, everybody does a great job getting here into turn 3.
Everybody keeps it clean as we're coming to the white flag. Johnny Wood Jr. leads the white flag here at Richmond. Can he hold off Isaac Love here in the number 62 as they make their way in turns 1 and 2? Now watch this 62. Because he might get a run here down the back straightaway. Doesn't look like it. It looks like your pole sitter, Johnny Wood Jr. in the 750 has been dominant here tonight in Richmond. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Johnny Wood Jr. wins it at Richmond. And Isaac Love and Adam Lowe finish out your pole. Not your pole, your podium.
Yeah, you had a couple drivers wrecking there behind, so maybe not a great finish for some of them as they would have anticipated. Johnny Wood Jr., you're right, though, and actually Justin Lewis, talking about putting down the fastest laps of the day, he put down the fastest lap of anybody That time around, maybe he was listening to the broadcast and said, I'm going to go ahead and get the fastest one if I couldn't win this race. So Justin had to wonder what could have been if he had been out front, but your pole sitter, he's still going to come home with the victory. Let's go and find him and bring him on in.
Yeah, let's bring our winner into the booth.
Let's see.
And we'll get interviews underway here from Richmond Raceway. Congratulations to Johnny Wood Jr. on the win here, and Isaac Love in second place, and Adam Lowe rounding out the podium here in third place. So, Angel, let's bring in our winner.
Hold on just a moment. Let's see if he's gonna
jump
into Discord areas. There's our winner, Johnny Wood. Mooresville, North Carolina's Johnny Wood. You got Angel and Daniel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us, buddy.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Well, Johnny, you started on pole, so definitely showed speed there. Had a little bit of an issue where you ended up kind of mired back in traffic, and it seemed like it took using that pit strategy to get you out front. Walk us through, your decisions there and how they worked out for you.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that the tires lasted. I want to say all the way to the end. I think I ran my fastest lap at like 130.
Yeah,
or 125.
It was right towards the end. You ran your fastest lap, and it was almost the fastest lap of the race until Jordan Lewis there right at the very end on the last lap put down one just slightly quicker.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, great drive there. I mean, and why did you feel like you need to use that pit strategy? How difficult was passing here tonight for you, or for everybody maybe?
Yeah, that was just kind of a off the whim kind of pit strategy. I kind of scrapped what I had going when I got, I think Love just kind of drove it in just a little too hard and got us loose. No biggie. Had to start from the back. Me and him he gave me some space all the way to the end. Even on that last couple of restarts, I know he was probably trying to get it, but he gave us some space there at the end. Yeah, the pit strategy was kind of on the whim, like I said. There was no chance in the world that I was at least taking two or taking a pit stop at all, because I feel like the restart and where Maxwell kind of come out the pits a little bit gave me a little bit of room. And then, like I said, just the initial restarts gave me like a big enough jump to where, I can hang on to it.
Yeah, no, you had you did a great job on the restarts, each and every time. Before we let Daniel, if we have any questions, just to let you know, you did have someone by the name of Rhetwood here in our YouTube chat joining in and rooting you on, so getting the victory for them. Daniel, you got anything for Johnny before we let him celebrate who he's or thank whoever he has to thank, friends and family wise?
Well, I just want to say congratulations to Johnny Wood Jr. He's put on a heck of a show here tonight. Johnny, we saw you win the pole here early tonight.
Say something.
And you put on a heck of a show, so I want to thank you for that. And congratulations, and we'll see you.
Still can't hear him, by the way.
Okay, looks like we're having a little bit of issues, maybe trying to get across. Johnny, you can hear me though, at least, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I see his little bubble light up, but I don't hear him.
All right, something's coming up with Daniel. Maybe not coming across for Johnny. So Johnny, we'll go ahead and just let you thank whoever you have to thank for tonight's race before we let you go enjoy this victory.
Yeah, Justin Redd, my dad, they always watch. Snow's Performance, it's all over the car. That's about it. So.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Johnny. Good luck, and see if we see you next week in Victory Lane again, Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
All right.
Don't know what happened there. Let's see if I'll let you lead here for Isaac and see if he can hear you.
Yeah, let's see if he can hear me. Who knows? It's technology these days, right? Isaac, it's Daniel and Angel in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing phenomenal up here. You guys put on a heck of a show here tonight from Richmond. Tell us, fans and broadcasters, what was it like running here tonight? at this 3/4 mile track? Because to me, it seems like there was a lot of handling going on.
Yeah, it was really fun. I felt like tonight was really just all throttle control and saving your equipment. But unfortunately, I got into an incident early on and had to rebound, which I don't think I rebounded very well. But I think Johnny Wood held onto his tires a little bit better than I did coming up through the field. But if we were on fresh tires like we were at the start of the run, I felt like we might have had something for him at the end.
Well, I mean, you got second place, which is really, really good. You got points, which is also very good. Now we're going into Indianapolis next week. What are your expectations going into Indianapolis, knowing that there is a really good chance that anybody could win there?
Well, I don't know. I think I've run there once or twice. I can't really remember, but the other week I did pretty decent at Pocono, so I'm hoping I can do just as good at Indianapolis. But we'll just have to see and find out.
All right. Well, do you have anybody you would like to thank?
Just Josh, Adam, and Barrett. They helped me out a lot during the race and every week. So just a big thanks to them.
Well, man, congratulations on the top 2 here from Richmond, and we'll see you next week from Indianapolis.
All right, thank you.
All right, and that was our second place finisher, the 62 of Isaac Love. Now bringing in our third place finisher, that being the 58 of Adam Lowe. And Adam, it's Daniel and Angel in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, you put on a heck of a show. I mean, you really weren't inside the top 3 most of the night, top 5, but somehow you managed to get your way up in there in the top 5, top 3. What was it like tonight? I mean, there was a lot of things going on.
Well, I had a lot of confidence coming in to tonight. I swept the Tuesday night stuff last week. That gave me a boost of confidence coming back here to a short track this week. It's kind of where it started, honestly. I ran a bunch of practice, and I just knew if I just kept it clean, just consistent lap after lap, avoided those that wreck, which, man, I feel like just about everybody wrecked. Somehow I never made contact with anybody or the wall, and I was in the right place at the right time when it mattered.
Well, now that Richmond's out of the way, no more short track racing. We're going to go to Indianapolis next week. What's your expectations going to the Brickyard?
I'm real excited to go there. I have not been able to run that race the last several seasons. I'm usually out of town with driving the number 9 for Brandon Jones in Xfinity. So I'm really pumped up. I had a lot of fun when I did run a preseason race there a while ago. I think I can go be there and run top 5 is my goal. So we're going to keep this momentum going.
All right. And Angel, do you have any questions for our third place finisher?
No, I do not, Adam. I did have to say that racing right there at the end was a ton of fun to watch between you and some of those other drivers getting right up on each other. But that was great racing. Congratulations on the podium, and yeah, let's see if we can improve this for you next week at Indianapolis.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it was a blast tonight when we were racing, especially that end there. We could actually get side by side and rub fenders a little bit without wrecking there.
Yeah, you can tell even in the racing itself, the drivers were having fun. So thank you very much, Adam. We appreciate it, and hopefully we get to talk to you again.
All right, yep. Thank you guys for broadcasting us tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you from the Brickyard. And Angel, tonight, Richmond was really, really interesting. What were your thoughts here tonight?
Well, my thoughts were, about what we typically see. You can have a lot of, these cautions. Of course, at Richmond, it's a difficult track and a difficult, tire combination when you come with this type of car. You have a lot more heat in the track than you're typically used to. But we got some great action nonetheless, and great Richmond action where they're side by side, door banging each other, and the drivers were enjoying it. You see Johnny Wood at the very top of that list. Isaac Love there in second. We just finished speaking with Adam Lowe in third. Justin Lewis would come home in fourth with your fastest lap there on the final lap. Todd Merkel in fifth. Michael Matta in sixth. Nathan Harper would finish in seventh. Lilith Peters, a nice recovery. She'll finish there in eighth. In ninth place belongs to Austin Call. Joshua Yarborough is going to round out your top 10. Chad Jones in 11th. Tillman Hewer in 12th. Dalton Randolph would be in 13th. 14th belonged to Maxwell Caldwell, and then Chris Meyer is going to round out the top half of the field there in the 15th position.
All right, and you can keep going, Angel, because my SDK is it's a little funky right now.
That's right. I always forget the right at the very end with the race results is one we got to get fixed for you here. Sorry about that. 16th for Zach Archer. Jonathan, I'm going to say just Jonathan. Sorry, there in 17th. Josh Terrett Hill in 18th. Trevor Dalton in 19th. Steven Johnson going to round out your top 20. Ryan Farrell there in 21st. Brandon Cornoyer in 22nd. Adam McKenzie in 23rd. Andrew McKenzie in 23rd. Adam Brady in 24th. Ronnie Hurst in 25th. 26th belonged to Peter Shepard. 27th for Johnny. How did you say it? Johnny. I'm sorry about
Johnny
that.
Lemford. Johnny.
I'm sorry, I'm Johnny. Tyler Rudge there, 28th. John Jurgensmeyer, I believe, there for the 29th position. 30th, going to round out your field there for Michael Accord. What a great race we mentioned. Great action. We got to see them battling side by side, being able to really get up on each other. We had a ton of fun. And as you mentioned, we do get to go visit Indianapolis Motor Speedway next week, and well, I'll let you sign us off here, Daniel.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody that has been tuning in with us here tonight for the SCL Winston Cup Series. You know, we're done here at Richmond. Now we're going to the Brickyard next week. I want to thank all the viewers for watching here on Sim Racing Media, from our producers to our cameraman to our wonderful Jonathan Leach here on SRM, to Angel Santiago next to me in the broadcast booth. I'm Daniel Pauls Jr. Congratulations to Johnny Wood Jr. again, the W here at Richmond Raceway. We'll see you next week here on SCL from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Who's going to kiss the bricks next week? We'll find out next. Have a great night, everybody.